Throughout history, there have been countless unexplainable stories, events, and moments captured on audio. These horrifying tapes were archived, never to be heard again. Until now. These are the tapes of trepidation. Tape number 85. Ladders. Ladders scare me the most. It doesn't matter if they're rickety or not. I avoid them. I don't use them. I don't like the sight of them. When I watch somebody go up them, I always fear the worst. Now, for the record, I fear the worst most of the time. But it's different with ladders. I have a strange feeling about them. It's not like the chills you get when you walk down a dark hallway. You can barely see down the hallway. The doors to all the rooms are closed. Maybe they were open, and you closed them. You close them because it's an obsessive compulsory action. It takes away the fear of something coming out of those rooms. Maybe you're not scared of any monsters. You're just afraid of the dark. Regardless, you close the doors and they latch shut. It helps you cope with the suspense. The strange feeling of fear you get when you slowly walk down and you start sweating. You get goosebumps and your body hair starts to rise. Maybe you start to tear up. The feeling is obvious. You're frightened. You want it to be over. You want whatever's coming to just come. Perhaps you want the assurance that there is nothing coming. But we all know that's impossible to know until you're done. The atmosphere terrifies you and you realize you've only taken a couple of steps forward. Well, now let's say you think you hear a couple voices. Maybe some whispering. If you haven't already teared up, you've started tearing up now. But you're almost there. At the end of the hallway, your destination. You're happy. Satisfied that there was nothing there after all. So you go into the room where whatever you needed was. And it's not where it usually is. Now you've got to spend a bit more time in this dark room. The one where the voices came from. And the one where the gentle breeze feels like fingers brushing against your shoulders. Because the windows are closed and the fans are off. It's that same feeling watching someone go up The suspense kills me. What if they fall halfway up? What if they fall and crack their skull? Worse, what if they fall hard onto the pole and impale themselves? Their lives, from birth to this exact moment, flash before their eyes. Then they'll start crying for mom, for dad, for anyone. After that, they die alone. It's these thoughts that are similar to when you have your child for the first time and you want to baby-proof your house. You start playing some sick scenarios in your head. What if they get into the antifreeze, the pine saw, the image of your child frothing at the mouth, crying because of some unknown pain that they were utterly helpless against, flashes? Or maybe, what if he gets into the power tools? What if he plays in the drawers and finds the knives? That little child, innocent and curious, pulls out a drawer a little too hard and the knife falls on top of him. That image flashes in your mind. Maybe it doesn't kill him. Maybe he finds a way to climb out of his crib and falls on his head. He suffers permanent brain damage and can't speak. You have to help him walk. And even at age 25, he still can't hold a fork. They never experienced life because of you and your irresponsibility. And you will never get to experience hearing their first word, their first Christmas, seeing them ride their bike, sending them off to their first day of school, their first decade of life celebrated, their graduation, their successful life, their married kids of their own. Gone. It's like that in a way. Pointless worrying, maybe. But maybe not. He's at the top of the ladder now, trying to get what he needs. The ladder starts to shake, bouncing a little. He doesn't notice, but you do. It could fall at any minute. He could fall and die. He could fall, break his spine, split it in two, sending bones into vital organs, puncturing them. Maybe he could fall flat on his front and collapse his ribs. You can see them now, his floating ribs protruding off of his back while the others have collapsed and punctured his heart. He's convulsing and bleeding out now. Perchance, he falls on his head and his skull shatters. He dies quickly because the brain was destroyed. Or like the baby, maybe he doesn't die. Maybe his legs bend the wrong way on impact, or his spine breaks. Either way, he's paralyzed. Dead or paralyzed. Maybe you're climbing a ladder to the attic and can't see up above. What's waiting for you up there? The same thing as down the hall. I climb up the ladder and those same voices start calling to me. And I feel the chills down my spine. And the wind that feels like fingers touch my shoulders. Which is funny, because the doors and windows are closed and the fans are off. That's when I look up. I don't need to describe what I see. Maybe it's just a flash of light. Something I see out of the corner of my eye. Maybe it's a face with glowing white eyes and sharp teeth. Maybe it's your wife who committed suicide up there. When you worked late nights and were always away. Maybe it's a son who was just curious and pulled the door down when the attic ladder fell down and crushed his head. Maybe it's your brother who huffed some pain and suffocated. Maybe it's your mother who got beaten a bit too hard. Or maybe it's your father who got a bit of arsenic in his coffee. Or maybe it's you, seeing your own ghost when you scream and fall to the ground, a premonition of what's to come when you slip and land in the wrong place. It doesn't matter what you saw, or what you imagined you saw. Perhaps it's just your mind. The theories are plentiful, but only so many can race through your mind in the 2 seconds it takes for you to hit the ground. Perhaps you didn't fall off the ladder. You're still up there in all suspense to grab whatever you need. You just don't want to get off the ladder and back downstairs. Perhaps you found what you were looking for in the room. You're done there, and you want to get out as soon as possible. So where you came from, you have realized that now all the doors are wide open. That's when you look down the ladder. Don't get me started on going down. This has been tape number 85, Ladders, by the Tapes of Trepidation Horror Narration Podcast. Ladders was written by Scorch933 and was originally posted on the Creepypasta Wiki. Narration, production, and sound design for this episode was by me, TJ Hodder. Credits for music and additional sound design can be found in the show notes. The Tapes of Trepidation theme was written by the incredible J.M. Scherf. All logos, banners, overlays, and graphic design work was provided by the talented Jason Reese from Jaybird Digital Arts. If you have a story you'd like to submit or a question regarding the show, please contact us at tapesoftrepidationpodcast@gmail.com. Support the show by subscribing and leaving a rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your favorite podcatcher, or like and subscribe on YouTube. And be sure to tell your friends. Word of mouth is extremely helpful to a podcast like this one. And check us out on social media through the link tree in the show notes. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. If you use Discord and you enjoy this podcast, and you are not on the Tapes of Trepidation Discord, you're missing out. There's a wonderful community over there, and we have a lot of fun. So come hang out with us. And if you'd like to support the show a little more, consider joining the Tapes of Trepidation Patreon. With as little as $5 a month, you can gain access to monthly bonus short stories / micropasta narrations, the weekly behind-the-scenes podcast within the archive, and more. So come, join us, and become trapped within the archive. Just like my current patrons, Doozer Pindan, Ronan Kamori, Eric Phones, Patrick Stewart, Madam Strangeways, Dr. Torment, Tori, Queen Cam, and Kai Faden. Thank you all so much for the support. I couldn't do this without you guys. All content used on Tapes of Trepidation is either original, used with permission, or is available on your Creative Commons by Share-alike license. All rights reserved, unless otherwise stated. Licensing information can be found in the show notes. This podcast and its content may not be redistributed or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Tapes of Trepidation and the story's author. Thank you so much for listening.